Yeah, g'day world. This is Ron, VK3 Alpha November Tango. Welcome to my little shack again. Another bit of a show and tell here. And as you can see, look at this. It's 1706, nearly 1707 on the 26th of October 2022. And happens to be a Wednesday. I hope you're well and safe and dry wherever you are. It's quite miserable outside our place. With this La Nina effect and getting a lot of rain. Not flooding yet, but still heaps of rain. Anyway, this project that I've done here, I don't know who to credit with. Again, it's not my project. I found someone that designed it before, and it's come up with it, and I just followed their, got inspiration from the person, but I can't remember who it was that, well, actually I didn't know who it was that designed it, so I can't give credit to them, but I know I can't take the credit. Anyway, what we've got here is another, as you can see, MMDVM hotspot. This one is configured for C4FM or Fusion. I do like my Fusion and D-Star, so this is it. Anyway, what we've got here is a case. You can see it's got a little leg on the back. I've got it opened at the moment, so I'm not going to show you just a second. It's a multimeter case. In actual fact, all this where the screen is, that's all blanked in, and you've got to cut it out. So there's a bit of work involved in this little project. But as you can see, I'm running Kasem Siri Sawana, I think his name is, or something like that, up in Malaysia there somewhere, I think. Oh, where's my goggles? What have I done with them? Oh, here they are. Kasem's call sign is HS9 Alpha Whiskey Oscar. You can see it down the bottom right hand corner there, HS9 AWO, and that's his MMDVM screen. You can see it's not fully populated. I've got the temperature there, but there's a couple of other little slots there that I haven't got populated, but it doesn't worry me what they're supposed to be. I've got them on others. Anyway, this case, as I say, comes with a couple of different coloured sides. These ones come out, but you can buy it with an orange, I think there is, and there's a one similar to the colour of the case itself, but I got this one with these sides. And there's the top, two switches. And I'll explain them in a minute. And on the back there's nothing much. On the bottom, sorry. Nothing much. Careful. And on the back, of course, is your slide out bit. 4 holes for closing up the case. And these 2 other holes, I drilled those 2 myself. Power on, just to keep an eye on it. And charging, you'll see. But anyway, I'll show you what's inside briefly. I'll do that? Yeah, might as well do that. As I say, I've already unscrewed it because it takes a little bit of an effort. And I'll just go there. And I've got that on there. So there you see the back of the 2.4-inch next-gen screen. Up here I've got a Raspberry Pi Zero, the original one, the 0W. It's not a 02, it's just a 0. So there you go. I've got a butchered up USB, thing plug I've got and taken the leads off. Well, the leads are still on it, but it plugs into the side of the power supply. 2 switches, on and off switch, once to turn it on and double tap to turn it off. The original design, the chap that built it, he never had this one on, but I put it on. When you plug it in to charge it, here on the side you'll see a little charging port for charging. See? He was saying then that when you plug it in, and this what the lead is here, It's just a barrel connector on this end to plug into the side, and a USB, just a normal USB connector on the other end. So that bit of lead I made up myself just to, put the barrel connector on the end of it. Yeah, but when you plug it in, it automatically comes on to start it up, and so you've got to double tap it to turn it off when you plug it in to charge it. So if I put this other switch on it, this toggle switch, and so the machine itself doesn't, the hotspot itself doesn't come on when you plug it in. So you don't have to worry about going through the process of shutting down your Pi correctly. But anyway, what we've got in here and all this here is this device, power supply, 3.7 volts, 3,800 milliamp hours, Raspberry Pi Club. And on the back, of course, is your charging socket for it. Couple of USB ports, and that's what that thing there is plugged into, one of those, and a power supply for it. Now, I've modified all this, as I say. These in Australia we get from J-Car. I think they're around about $30, something like that. They're not too bad. And what I've gone and done was lifted the battery off, because it's only double-sided tape, and moved it up to one end. And then I've cut off the excess. See down here where these two holes are? I've cut that bit there off, because it's got to fit inside. Yeah, it's got to fit inside the width of the case. So the 4 holes are still there, down here and down here. So all the 4 holes are still there. Just that that extra bit of from there offwards there, I've just got up with a hacksaw and got off, because there's nothing on the other side of it. Just tells you what it is. So you can just, saw it off there, and that fits in the case nicely, superbly. Now, then we've got the Raspberry Pi 0W, or WH, I think it is, because this one's got the headers on it. And that's all we need. And of course, then we need the MMDVM board. Now you notice I don't have an antenna on it. It's like the last one I done. Doesn't have an antenna on it. Can't fit it in there anyway. So the antenna is one of these little, I mentioned them before, Rain Sun ceramic antennas. There's 3 of them there. And they just solder on. If I can get a clear enough picture for you. Just at the bottom here. Come on. There it is. AE1. See? AE1 there. And they just fit in between those 2 little bits there, soldered on. Beautiful. And that's your antenna. Now you see down here, I'll just turn this thing off because it's frightening me being on, but you're seeing that it does work. You see down here the antenna, or the screen, and it's got the Molex type plug with 4 wires on it. 4 wires come around in underneath here, and onto your MMDVM board. That's the Pi, wrong way. Where am I? Over this way. And down the bottom, you'll see, you can't, but it's there. It says Nextion. So there's 4 little holes there. I've just soldered those 4 wires from that screen into that MMDVM board, just there. 4 little holes. It says Nextion. So that's all there is to it. You plug this thing together, your Raspberry Pi 0WH, if I can see it. plug those two together, and you've got your little rain sun antenna soldered onto your AE1 place just there. And turn it upside down, of course, because that's the way it seems to work, because I need the access to the ports and things like that underneath there. And it gives you a bit of room for the where I've butchered up this USB cable. I've cut the end off it, and still got the wires attached, but I just took all the casing off it, and it won't fit in that way, of course, because of the pins, those pins. So I have it around that way, so it slides in underneath. Gives it a bit of room underneath there. And there, of course, is that one of the sides that have come off. They've got a bit of a hole, a bit of a dimple there. It's convex on that side and concave on that side, which is quite good, because I needed every bit of space within there to fit with the micro SD card hanging out the side a little bit. Everything fits in snugly. This is put in with double-sided tape on the onto the case, onto the backing of the case, and this one's not. I had to, I don't know if you can see it here or not, see this post here and this post here. Well, they meet up because I say this is supposed to be for a multimeter, so when they meet up. So I've had to, because of the thickness of this blue board, the couple of millimetre there, the two pieces of the case don't match. So I've had to mow the posts down a little bit. I just had to get a knife in there and scrape the depth of the post off a little bit, so that when these two boards come together, they fit nice and flush. But anyway, if you want any information on this, I'm not going to go and pull it all to bits and show you how I got about soldering it and things like that just at the moment, because it's a bit finicky and I don't wish to do it. So yeah, if you want any information on this one, like always, check out my qrz.com page, and there I've got my email address, so you can shoot me a bit of an email, and I'll give you a few more instructions on it, a bit more, but I just wanted to show you it anyway. This one runs a little bit longer than the other one. Remember the other one I showed you last week or so? Remember this one? You can see another video of it there. I'll get it out a little bit. That's that cover that I had for it. And that's the three of them there, the three boards. The UPS, the Raspberry Pi 0W, H, whatever, and the MMDVM board, and there's the little rain sun antenna. It's all basically the same, just in some bigger package and a bigger battery on it. So yeah, it's not easy to put together. You've got to, it's a bit finicky. There's a few little jobs that you've got to do with it, as far as scraping away some of this blue stuff here on the board and soldering a couple of wires just there for the power. Very, very finicky. And the charging, well, that's not too bad. There's a couple of pads there, of course, you can solder onto there. And then, of course, your power for your Raspberry Pi down here. These two big pads over here. Where are we? Yeah, just there. Those two bigger pads. They're not too bad, but and soldering on your little rain sun, of course, that's no issue either. But just some of these other little ones on this board here are a little bit finicky, so you've got to be a little bit steady if you can, and make sure you don't short them out, because, as I say, these ones here are very, very close together, those two wires, as all this miniaturized stuff is. It's very awkward. This one's not too bad. The one I hear on this power supply, as I say, you can see those two wire pads. Oh, and this one up here on the switch. So you push it on once and you get it for on, and then you've got to push it twice to turn it off. And that's why I put the other switch on for, so that it doesn't come on when I plug it in to charge it. Anyway, as I say, it's just something else I wanted to show you. Send us a bit of mail if you wish to know any more about it, and I'll see what I can do to help you out. Anyway, stay well, stay safe, stay dry, and we'll see you again another time. All the very best. This is Ron, VK3ANT 73.